Yeah.
Yeah. But that's enough about my medical history. Let's talk about Lunar.
To talk about video games on this podcast.
It's about video games?
Welcome to Medical History Book Club, the podcast where we talk a little bit about our medical problems, and talk about how it makes us feel. God, honestly, that'd be pretty dope. Just a podcast where we just bitch about our stupid brains.
I'd be down.
I saw a TikTok that was like, I have an idea. Let's trick all these white men into therapy by convincing them it's a podcast.
That's funny.
Welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I am Sam Allman.
I am Elias Sailor Eli Warren.
I'm Maddy Grace Spiffle Webbin.
And I forget if I introduce myself here or if you all introduce.
No, you just introduce yourself normal style.
You do it.
Okay, yeah, cool. I'm Nega Sam, the game professor, also here.
Yes.
I'm gonna forget that every week, I swear.
It's fine.
We've got a Nega Sam. When are we gonna get a Mega Sam?
Ooh, maybe
Or
if
Rock
Nega
Sam
Sam
in Japan.
God damn it. Maybe if Sam and Nega Sam are ever in the same room at once, they will merge and become Mega Sam.
I can see that.
Alternatively,
Our powers like a Voltron thing.
Alternatively,
if that sounds more like a matter-antimatter thing, I'm pretty sure y'all would like cause the destruction of the universe. So please don't do that. Eli, what were you saying?
maybe it's me, Gay Sam.
Yes, me gay Sam.
Sam's already like this close to being gay. Like just needs a little push.
Yeah.
The only thing, what is it? All it takes is one bad day to turn a Sam into a gay Sam.
I thought you were going to end it with all it takes is one bad day to turn a Sam into a gay, and I was like, that's fucking poetry.
I didn't think about that because the quote that I'm parodying doesn't rhyme. But you're right, that would have been smart.
And today we're going to be talking about the third section of Lunar, the Silver Star, which is a beefy section that literally had like
much.
It had no stopping points. Like when I was getting there towards the end, I'm like, oh, we could just talk up until, it's all middle part. Oh, and the end of the episode was kind of the only thing. So buckle up, kids. This is going to be
the only way it would have been shorter is if we'd played more last time, which we were originally going to, but then we didn't. So
yeah. It's like we could have. The only like episode ending was the original episode ending that we had last time, which was about 15 minutes into what we played this week.
Yep.
But before we dive into this huge episode, let's waste 30 minutes talking about our week.
Let's waste less time than that, but yes, still some, of course. Eli, what's going on with you?
Well, the good news is practically nothing has happened to me except that work is busy as fuck.
Yeah, you announced a release date for a video game, so sucks for you.
No.
And we have a whole lot of new people doing temp work for us, which is good. I'm glad that we have people doing temp work for us, and I appreciate them. But oh goodness, they have so many questions, and it's just a lot. Any questions?
Oh, it's no longer that season anymore. Rip.
It's always the season for David S. Pumpkins, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's been a little stressful. Other than that, pretty much nothing has happened except that I procrastinated once more and had to finish. Actually, I didn't procrastinate on playing this week. I started doing it on Saturday. I did the whole Crystal Tower thing, And then I stopped there and was like, I'll have plenty of time to finish the rest. It took me literally all day to finish the rest.
Aww. Yeah, it was.
That happened to me today too.
Oh God.
Yeah. Eli, that what you forgot to mention the most important thing we did this week. We played Dusk to Dusk for the Halloween episode.
That's true.
That game fucking slaps.
It's so good.
Like,
I was really impressed with this 2-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen to the episode. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it sounds like you had a great time with it.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it's a RPG Maker visual novel puzzle adventure game type thing, and it's really cool because you think it's going to be a particular type of story, and then it's a different kind of one, and there's not really a moment where it switches over. It's not like for instance, Kevin Smith's Red State starts out and it's a comedy until they take the drink in the trailer, and then it's a horror movie. It's there's no moment where it changes. You're just
right.
Da, 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 things are going on. And you're like, wait. Oh crap. Now I'm in the thing, and now it's different, and I have to do a whole different thing than I thought. And it's really good. I highly recommend it. And after we posted it, Brittany Avery herself drunk tweeted at us. She was like, "Oh my God, I found this. It makes me so happy that you liked the game. It was my first time being the entire localization department instead of just the editor. So it was my first time doing the translation bits too. And so I'm glad that you loved it. But I'm guessing that's what she said because she was drunk and almost none of it was spelled correctly. And it was great because she did. She was streaming that night, and it was take a shot every time she doesn't get such and such in Grand Blue Fantasy, and so she took a lot of shots by the time she had listened to our episode. But it was great. So shout outs to Brittany. Thank you for all of the Trails games and all the other games that you've worked on, and thank you for Dusk to Dusk. But,
it was great.
Other than that, we had a indoor one-person fall festival for Scarlet on Halloween, and it was great. We had bobbin for apples, and we ate caramel apples, and we painted pumpkins, and lots of cute little things like that. The highlight of which was we stole a tradition from Easter, and we made little ghosts out of tissue paper with candy stuffed inside and hid them all over the house. So she went on a quote unquote ghost hunt instead of a egg hunt, but it was great.
That's adorable.
Love parental adventures. They're great. Everyone should have one. What about you, Maddy?
I had a very busy week last week, as I believe I mentioned. I was phone banking every single night for 3 hours for a good week and a half. And at the end, all the California chapters of DSA have been kind of working together on this ballot prop, which is really cool. Statewide level coordination isn't something we've done a whole lot. But at the end, LA put on an event. It was basically the Zoom equivalent of a secret show. I guess it was a secret show, but on Zoom. No, it wasn't on Zoom. Sorry, it was on Facebook. It was on YouTube. It was an unlisted YouTube. But it was a live show, and it was basically it was to thank anyone. In order to get the link, you had to either donate to the campaign or make calls. So it was sort of a thank you for donating or making calls show, but it was also for fundraising even more. And it was LA's cool, man. I don't know. They have different political terrain than us, but it's LA, right? So they have all the comedians and the musicians and the Hollywood stars, which is kind of cool. So it was this show with a bunch of cool musicians and comedians. Just it was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life, and I mean that in the most positive possible way. Everyone was just goofing it up, being stupid, interviewing these people impersonating, people doing impersonations and having good musical guests. Just a dumb variety show. But also at the end of the variety show, they said who the top 10 callers were, and I was number 6 in the entire state. So
nice.
That's the important part of that story. I made a fuck ton of phone calls. Anyway, then I took a couple of days where I wasn't doing any political work because I needed to take a break because I'm going to be back at it tomorrow. On Saturday, I watched 5 Halloween movies. The marathon that my friends were doing was 9, but I was only able to be there for 5 of them. And they were, with one exception, it was 2... Honestly, no, it was 1 fucking incredible movie, 2 really, really, really great movies, 1 good movie, and 1 boring-ass movie. So it was a real good combo. I had a great time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now I'm here, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing more stuff and being busy. So I'm glad to be here, glad to be podcasting.
Nice. What about you, Negasam? How was your week?
Yeah, it was mostly uneventful until this weekend. NaNoWriMo started, so
sure did.
Yeah, so I'm doing that. It's kind of a lot, but yeah. And then today was just kind of shit, but that was just a whole number of ridiculous things, including some of which we are going to actually be talking about because it involves this game. It's just that, in addition to wasting a whole lot of time on some inaccessibility nonsense in here, I ended up planning on doing the game plus some writing while I was at work, but then I wasn't able to because of all the time spent looking for stupid bugs in the game. And then so I didn't get any of that done. I was going to finish the part of the game when I got home, but then I left my PS Vita at work, so I had to go back and get it. It was just a whole bunch of stuff layered on top of general anxiety because of time of recording the elections tomorrow. So,
yeah, if you are listening to this tomorrow morning when I post this, and you have not voted, you should go and vote. And since the lines will be real long, you can just listen to us talk about Lunar while you're in line.
And the bonus episode, if you haven't listened to that one yet either.
And the bonus episode.
Yeah, there's a lot. You can listen to our backlog, check out the Xenogears season. There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah, and vote. Voting is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get your Pokemon Go to the polls. God, the worst.
But speaking of things that are not the worst and are very important, let's talk about how our Pokemon learned the HM Fly super early in this game, and we will start talking about this game.
Transition. So when we last left our heroes, we'd been thrown in jail, and we're now out of jail in the exact same plot to go do the exact same plot of Dragon Warrior 3. No, I won't stop joking about that. It's really funny to me. First, we go to the Silver Spire in order to get the... I know this isn't the same for y'all, so first, we hightail it over to the Silver Spire in order to go up to the top of the spire and get the magic mirror thingy. I forget what it's called. We're just calling it the magic mirror thingy. In order to get in, we have to use our dragon ring and Mia's Althena's pendant. We go through a pretty breezy little dungeon with good loot and cute ghosts. The ghosts are bad guys, to be clear, but they're cute. Okay, so now we have a special mirror which will reveal the truth. Mia tells us her mom went to the Crystal Spire, which is a different different spire, and we got to go there to kick her ass. So remember that scary door from the Cave of Trials? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a secret passage to enter the Crystal Spire through that scary door. So we backtrack to the cave, which is now super easy, and go through the scary door. We arrive in front of the Cave of Trials, and it's Nash. He says, Mia, I know you're a crazy broad and won't be dissuaded from this dangerous task, so I'm coming with you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention last week, lol, Nash and Mia are kind of dating. They both like each other for sure, and the townspeople gossip about it. I forget the exact nature of it, but it was a presence last week that I forgot to mention. Well, guess what? Now he's coming with us to protect her because they like each other. See, there we go. It all makes sense. Anyway, he doesn't want her to fucking die, so he's in our party now. Which is funny because she's way more useful than he is. Anyway, the dungeon is mad easy because each battle is with huge groups of weak enemies, like 5 to 7 dudes per mob. But Nash and Mia both have great spells that hit all enemies. So we're just... Anyway, we're just blasting them with our AKs. Yeah, the dungeon is pretty... Oh, the dungeon is actually really pretty. Enemies include a bad cloud, a really cool crow with a human-shaped skull for a head. At the top... That's
really cool.
Yeah, it was really dope. At the top, there's a bunch of Lemia's followers. They're all shocked that we got this far. It's funny. They're not like... Again... It seems like everyone but Lemia is, like, pretty chill about this whole thing. Like, they are obeying her, but in, like, a chill way. Instead of us getting up there and them being like, oh, trespasser, you'll never get through here, and it's like a battle, they're all just like, oh, damn, how'd you get up here? Please don't go up there. Like, that's like, they literally are like, it's forbidden to go up there. If you go up there, you'll get put to death. So, like, please don't. We like you. We're not going to try to stop you because we're not bad guy. It's weird. It's cute though. It's cool. Because it's like she knows these people, right? So they're just being really chill about being the evil empress's followers or whatever. We go up the stairs, and it's the Star Chamber. As I said, going up there is strictly forbidden, punishable by death. We go anyway. The Star Chamber looks cool as fuck. There's foreground stuff with like constellations that are like, what's it called? Parallax style moving over your character. Very cool. We talk with evil Lemia, and she says, you'll be put to death for this. Mia says, fuck off. My real mom would never speak to me that way. We use the mirror to reveal the true form of the imposter. And, oh no, she's hot. She is the extremely hot Zenobia, head of the Vile tribe. She says she would have gotten away with it taking over all the Magic Guild if it weren't for us meddling kids and our stupid flying tiny dragon. She teleports away and leaves us 2 demons to fight. Pretty easy, but I did game over for the first time ever because, sometimes the first time you're fighting a battle, you're like trying to find out what the weaknesses are, so you don't really know. So I did die for the first time ever, and then the second time I just owned him. How was this boss for y'all? Was it difficult and or interesting?
I don't think our games have synced up yet. I don't remember. Did we have a boss there? I don't remember a boss there.
Like a couple of dogs or something, some sort of like demon monsters.
Yeah, that's what ours. Mine. Yeah. So mine worked. We didn't fight her. So she walked away.
Yeah, it was basically a nothing fight because I don't remember it at all.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but so the way that ours differs is we get up there and the gathered masses are there. And these being a couple of like high-ranking of a couple of high-ranking of Lemia's officials, Lemia herself, and Galleon. And before we walk in the room, they're all just like evil and shit. And then we walk in, and we're like, "You're an imposter." And she's like, "Yeah, I was hot the whole time." And then her advisors were also hot the whole time. And then Galleon was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it. I was totally tricked. I'm not the evil emperor because I was totally tricked by her. She must be the evil emperor. Don't look at me. I'm not being incredibly obvious that I'm the evil guy." And so they teleport away, and Galleon joins our party at level 99.
No, I was just about to get to that. So that's all almost the same as mine, actually.
I do feel, though, real quick, like it's also worth noting that her other two henchmen were people that we knew and had seen, because one of the women was the person who Nash had us talk to, or who Nash was talking to briefly in Meribia, and the other one was, you know, the lady who was running the shrine, who Jessica didn't remember.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, both of them we had met before, and they seemed suspicious, and then, you know, they showed up along with fake Lemia. They were all like, hey, we hot women are secretly hotter women and evil. And
that's
the secret.
Clad too.
That's the secret. Every hot girl you see is secretly an even hotter girl, but she's evil.
Maddy, is that how it works?
Well, I was thinking that, like, yes, I relate, because I too have pretended to be someone who wasn't hot and then revealed that I was a hot girl. But you're saying that I actually have another form where I'm also evil, is what you're suggesting. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that bears out.
I'm interested to find out. Keep us in the loop.
On one hand, I don't like the sound of me being evil. On the other hand, I do like the sound of me being even hotter. So it's hard to say if it's bad or not. It's impossible to say, in fact. Anyway, so it wasn't actually too different. So, like, as I mentioned, after you do this, Galleon is like, fuck, I was so deceived. I didn't see this coming at all. Me, a good person. It actually is a lot more subtle in my version, for the record. He says, fuck, what do we do now? Actually, honestly, it's believable enough to where I was like, oh, I guess I was wrong last week when I thought he was bad. Like, or maybe, I don't remember, but it definitely is not super obvious.
I just remember, was similar to me too. Like, I had, well, I'll talk about it later with moments, but yeah, I also kind of fell for it.
Because, like, he got tricked makes enough sense, you know?
I did remember something else important, and correct me, because this might not. Never mind. No, it happens later, and it happens later really cool. I was totally wrong. I was conflating two big hot girl scenes.
Yeah, that's later, yeah. Anyway, so he's like, oh, what do we do now? And then Galleon's like, oh, wait, you're from Berg, right? So you know where the White Dragon's cave is. We say, yeah. He says, well, shit, let's go back there and ask for his advice. We would need his advice and his strength to build up our defenses against xenophobia. We think, hey, that's convenient for us. We can go say hi to Luna as well because we miss her. Nice. But he says to meet him in Meribia first, he'll be talking with his old co-warrior, Mel de Alkirk. So we go to Meribia. There's a lot of new dialogue, but the main one is, hey, remember the shady shopkeeper? He's gone, and his shop has been bought by a mysterious new merchant. Inside, the shop is really fancy, featuring a dancing girl even, and good stuff for sale. But the merchant owner is gone. Who could he be? Over in Universe B, we already know it's our shitty friend Nathan. I forgot his name and refused to look it up because fuck that guy. So at Meribia, we go into the palace of Mel, and unlike before, we can now go upstairs. There's lots of fun dialogue in this area. Some of them are my mim moms, but don't worry about it. We go talk with Mel, and we notice, fuck, Jessica standing right next to him. Woo! Jessica is shocked and pleased to see us, but she acts as if she doesn't know us. It's literally like, she initially is like, oh, you! And then she's like, hello, welcome, travelers. My name is Jessica. Anyway, Mel is like, fuck, we gotta stop xenophobia, stay the night, and then catch the boat to Saith in the morning. So we do one of everyone's favorite tropes, which is when characters have to stay the night, and therefore something happens at night, because why else would they be doing that? During the nighttime, in an FMV scene, Alex has a dream of Luna screaming and being in trouble. Fuck! We wake up and Null has had the same dream. Fuck. Oh, also Galleon joins our party. I forgot to say that. He joined our party ages ago. Wow, he has really amazing stats. Like, wow, these guys definitely played Dragon Quest V, LMAO. We board we board the boat to Saith and then head to Berg. We talk to our parents, and it's hilarious. Our mom is like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you back so soon. I was worried. Please rest up before you go back out again." Our dad, hilariously, is upset that we're back because he's been going around bragging to all his friends about how his son is on an adventure to be a hero. But now you're back, so people will think that we gave up, and he'll be embarrassed. Okay, at this point, I do want to pause and ask if what's going on over in Universe B.
So, we also stopped and talked with Mel and met Jessica, and the scene was basically beat for beat. And but the main thing that's different is Luna is still in our party.
Right. Yeah,
point.
I thought so. I thought that was the case. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, and so that's why that's related to one of the things that I had thought was happening, but that happens later.
So anyway,
basically, it's the same thing. We just get Luna popping in and having cute stuff so far.
Nice. So next, spoiler alert, Luna's not going to do too well this week. And I want to spoil that because it turns out that at this point there's an optional Luna scene. I missed this scene because I was just thinking about achieving my goals. Because you go to the town and she's not there, and I just didn't know where she was, so I didn't think to go to the other area. And then Gallian is just like, "Hey, we gotta go to the White Dragon Cave." So I'm like, cool. So I missed this really sweet scene, which is crazy because it's the last scene you get of her before things happen. I saw it because I was watching a Let's Play to do my notes, right? But it's a really sweet scene. You see her and she's just like, "Hi." And again, this game's just really open with its emotions. They're not like hiding shit. She and Alex are both just like, we really missed each other. They're both just saying how much they miss each other and they love each other. We introduce Gallian and she's starstruck. She's like, "Oh my God, it's Gallian." She says that she's been having terrifying dreams lately, but she can rest easy knowing that we're back. We'll obviously protect her, especially with Gallian at our side. And she says, then she says, "Please come home soon. I'll cook us all a delicious dinner." In so doing, she breaks the first law of being a fictional character, which is, as we've discussed often, never ever referring to something happening in the future.
Nope.
So
don't do it.
So we go to the White Dragon Cave. We go through the cave and we get to the dragon's chamber. As we approach, literally, like, we go into we like do the screen transition, and then we're in a little tunnel walking up to the dragon. After walking through the tunnel, Gallian just goes, "Alex, I've been thinking. You know, the dragon tribe and Althena are central to our world. But if they're so powerful, why'd my best friend die and have to die to save them? Couldn't they have saved themselves without calling on a man to do their dirty work? I think so, and that's why I'll never forgive them. They don't deserve to rule the world. ... I do." And we're like, "All right, man." And then we keep walking down the hallway. And when we get to the end, we're just like, "Well, that was weird." When we get to the end of the hallway, Quark is like, "Oh, dope." That's the White Dragon, by the way. Quark is like, "Oh, dope, I'm glad to see you again. And oh, dip, you brought Gallian. Gally, how's it hanging, old pal? I haven't seen you since your best friend Dine died. That thing you're still upset about." Then the music changes into villain music, and we get an anime close-up of Gallian with a very villainous smirk on his face. He says, if not for Quark, Dine would still be alive. A part of him, meaning Gallian, died that day, and now things are going to change. He'll soon rule the world, ... but soon you have to die. We get a really cool shot of him and the dragon, and a big yellow ball of energy appears, and I think we hear Alex yelling at this point, which is weird. I guess it could be Mia. You hear a voice yelling like, "No," or something like that. Anyway, he does a yellow beam of light, killing the fuck out of Quark. Then he cackles villainously and says now only the goddess Althena is left. And then he teleports away. So turns out He was bad. Clark, also, in case you're curious, the whole thing about how he's like he's sad about dying, that was foreshadowed quite a bit by lots of NPCs. It didn't just come out of nowhere. I just forgot to mention it. A lot of NPCs are like, yeah, a lot of the NPCs are like, yeah, he's been weird ever since Dyne died. I guess he's mourning. I guess he's probably not evil. He's probably just sad. What's up?
Weird, because if there was anything like that in ours, I didn't pick up on it. He seemed to be a mustache twirler a little bit more in ours. Like he was just like,
I mean, it was foreshadowed with other NPCs talking about him. His actions.
I mean, even in this scene, he didn't have a ever since Dyne died dragon white like all of that stuff. I just remember him saying like, I have all the magic. I am going to get rid of the white dragon, so you can't be a dragon master, so no one will stop me. And mwahaha, mwaha, 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 mwaha. But the important change about this scene, which will take a little steam away from probably the next thing you're about to talk about.
It's not Quark dying, right? Because I know he didn't actually die. I've got another scene with Quark.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, well, Clark has some dying. Clark has some dying words that I'm about to say.
Oh no, no, okay, it's not his dying words. It is Luna is with us, as you remember, and he's like, oh, I'm going to keep you from being Dragon Master, and now Luna, you look just like her, so so you're coming with me, and grabs her and teleports away, and she is now officially kidnapped, and it's a big oh shit moment.
Damn.
That happens right now, and I'm sure it's about to happen to you when you get back to Berg.
Over here in Universe A, she has not been kidnapped yet, as far as we know. So Quark, with his dying breath, says we must become a Dragon Master. Once he's gone, he being Quark, the goddess will be vulnerable to attack, and only a Dragon Master can save her. He says the room that we couldn't go to earlier, with the weird crystal thing, has the dragon wings in it. Go get them. They'll allow us to do fast travel, but we can't use them yet. First, we need to travel the world and, quote, seek out our true feelings, a.k.a. watch literally one more cutscene. So we get the wings, which are indeed without power, and Alex gets a dope dragon spell. Well, that was a horrible tragedy, but at least we get to go have a delicious dinner with our family and girlfriend. Time to take a big sip of water and head back home.
Hold on. I'll help recreate the moment.
Okay. Oh no! When we get back, we hear Luna screaming.
I made myself choke.
When we get back, we hear Luna screaming, and Eli spits water all over his computer.
I'm not doing that part.
Yeah,
not doing that part.
Luna is in danger. Fuck! It's the hot lady again. She has tit tats. She says that she, quote, she says that Luna, quote, might be, end quote, the goddess. Also, she doesn't really have time for our shit, and will sentence us to hard labor in a mine. At this thought, I thought, oh wow, they really played Dragon Quest V. But no, actually, this isn't a dramatic time skip of servitude in a mine. It's actually just a pretty tough solo boss battle against like 6 demons that we win with our new spell. Like, I legitimately was like, oh, are they literally doing Dragon Quest V? Is this a forced lost battle? And then I lost and was like, oh, I guess it's not. Afterwards, she gets mad at us for killing her henchman, and then says, oh, I just said she teleports away, but she didn't actually. So she gets mad at us for killing her henchman, and says if we ever want to see Luna again, we have to visit Galleon, who's waiting for us. She teleports away with Luna. At this point, we realize that Galleon is the oft-discussed, oft-foreshadowed in previous episode Magic Emperor, the one who's been on the rise. It was him all along. He'll pay for this. Also, our wings work now. Okay. We go back to town, and everyone is gone, and there's bad music. But our parents are there, but actually they're demons in disguise. And they tell us all the villagers were kidnapped and taken to Talon Mine, and we fight them, and then we go to Saith, and then we go back to Meribia, and then we go to Vane. We tell our friends about everything that's transpired, and oh snap, Lamia is back. But it turns out she was in fact the unknown person in that cell from before, but we didn't like dramatically find her. They're just like, hey, we found her. It turns out she was tortured with magic and has lost her memory. Mia and Nash say she's under a curse, and the only way to break it is to kick Galleon's ass. So they join the party. Oh, also, turns out this is all Nash's fault. Nash told Galleon about the white dragon being near Berg, and Nash told Galleon that Luna had a beautiful singing voice. LMAO, he feels bad. Oh yeah, in case I don't remember if I foreshadowed this or set it up enough last week, but it became apparent. Sorry. That didn't start getting foreshadowed until we returned to Meribia earlier in today's episode. Sorry. An hour of gameplay earlier, when we go back through the towns, they all have new dialogue, and one of the new dialogues is that these girls have been disappearing, and it's specifically been girls with nice singing voices, which is cute because we've already met a couple of them. Like, they do the FF4 thing where you talk to someone, and they're like, I want to sing for you. And then, because it actually can do disc audio, you actually hear someone singing.
Right, yeah.
They sing a really cute song. Does y'all have the one where it's like, na 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 na?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cute. Yeah. So
there's already like, oh, it's almost good as Luna, and I'm like,
yeah. So there's already been like 2 different singing and dancing girls in the game so far, in addition to Luna. So they've been getting kidnapped. That was already foreshadowed.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to.
There's
I think it's time for another. Yeah.
Give me one more second. Just make sure that I'm at a stopping point. So what was it? So just to make sure we're tying it all together. So the point is, they were going around catching people with beautiful singing voices. I guess that's because the goddess had a beautiful singing voice, and the implication there is that the goddess is not, in fact, at the top of the mountain in her shrine, but has somehow been reincarnated as a person. No one's aware of this. They're just like, yeah, the goddess is up on the mountain. I guess not. I guess she's a human-seeming girl. So Luna may or may not be the reincarnation of the goddess, and because Nash was just like, hey, Galleon, guess what? Luna's got a beautiful singing voice. Oops. Sorry, Nash. Okay, what's going on in Universe B? Nega Sam.
I have to ask, here's the thing, because there's a lot of changes, but also I got the fast travel wings, and I'm like, oh, cool. Let's see. Maybe I'll go to Meribia. That's where I'll go with the fast travel wings. So I have no idea if any of the stuff that you said about Berg is true in our version. Is it?
It is not.
Okay.
Everyone is okay in Berg in our version.
Huh.
Yeah, if something happens on that, it'll happen later. But I was expecting, because that was the original stopping
games,
point.
You know?
The thing that I had said before, like, because I had looked at a fact for the Silver Star, not Silver Star story, and they were like, oh, you get back to Berg, and the town is razed, and Luna is kidnapped. And I'm like, oh, okay, that happens at the beginning of every JRPG. It's a spoiler, but not really. And then that never happened in our game. It was all of that stuff was tidied up into the White Dragon Cave scene. And so Quark was like, hey, you got to do all the things with this dying breath, and gave us the dragon wings, and he just gave it to us. He made us go on a trek for the dragon ring and didn't make you, but then he made you go on a trek for the dragon wings that we did not have to do. And so we're even there. But then our dragon wings worked right away. So we just went outside and flew to Meribia.
Wild.
Also, though, so are you saying that nothing happened in Meribia on the way to Vale?
Something is going to.
Oh, okay. So I guess just the order of that changed. Okay, go on.
Like
then.
Involving Jessica and stuff? Actually, so there's a lot of...
It's non-linear. The next 4 plot beats, you can do it in any order.
Really?
This game has to this week has 2 different sections that are large non-linear sections. So I'm just going in the order that I played.
That was, like, if it would have gone differently had I gone somewhere else first. So okay, cool.
Yeah, your all your party members can be gotten in any order.
Yeah, so just to be clear, like, I went to Vane. Right. I actually didn't think about this part being non-linear because I didn't notice, I guess. But the later part, I explicitly write in my notes, like, I'm just going to try and write what I did and also kind of synthesize things a little bit, you know. The reason I went to
now
Vane...
that I think about it, though, if if you would have had to go through Meribia to get to Vane if you didn't use the wings, right?
Well, I was when I wrote the notes just now, I probably just forgot about the wings.
Okay.
I just forgot about it. Also, for me, you can go through Meribia, and the thing that probably happened doesn't happen. You have to go activate it. You have to seek it out. But anyway, again, more nonlinear, more old school. So anyway, the point is, so I went to Vane, I think, because I was just like, that seemed like a place to go, right? Like, that's kind of like the HQ of my dude, so it seems like a reasonable place to go. And I was right. But then, after this point, I was really stuck for a long time. I wanted to get through that tunnel that the bandits guard. Oh, yeah, so now our goal is to get to the interior of the continent, through that tunnel. I wanted to get through, but Kyle still isn't back. After a lot of going around, I remembered that he and Jessica have a thing. So we go back to Meribia to find Jessica. Oh, so we go to Mel's mansion and go upstairs, and also bad music's playing now. And oh no, Mel has also been turned to stone by Galleon. Fuck. Jessica says she's also coming with us to kick Galleon's ass. That's it. That's all it is for me.
Cool. Did we have a scene where we saw Mel get turned to stone, or was that off screen for us as well? I feel like we saw it, but I mean,
we not only had a scene of that, Meribia was like under attack, and we had to fight our way into there and stuff.
That's what it was.
And then Jessica showed up, and Mel's like, "No, this is too much for you." And the lady there tried to kill Jessica, and Mel jumped in the way and turned to stone.
Yeah, no, I missed all that. That my character that all happened off screen for me.
Wow,
that's wild. Yeah,
but anyway,
we had a whole thing.
But anyway, she do be joining our party, thank goodness. Yeah. So now, first of all, we have a whopping 5-person party, which fucking rules. So wait, Alex, Mia, Nash. It's 4 for now.
We're about to get 5.
We finally we go back to the Nan's barrier. Kyle's back. He's actually a major character with a portrait and stuff. We tell him what's up, and he says Jessica is insane to try and defeat xenophobia with such a ragtag bunch. He's coming with us to protect her. Jessica says, "You sexist ass. I knew you were going to say that. Good, let's fucking go." So he joins our party, and now we have 5 party members. Unfortunately, even though he was being sexist and implying that Jessica was weak and stuff, he does, in fact, have fucking incredible stats and is way better than everyone else, so his concern was, in fact, justified. Turns out he was right there.
Now is a great time for us to sync the universes back up, because here is where Hot Girls B and C show up and reveal that they have been kidnapping songstresses. And
there's more Hot Girls in yours? God damn it.
Yeah,
I picked the wrong version.
Fake Limia, fake Facia, and fake the other girl that Nash was talking to. I forget who.
Are those characters just not in the Sega CD version? Because I thought we had talked about them before.
Not yet, I guess. No. Only Zenobia, who was previously, who was pretending to be Limia. I guess she is the leader of a tribe. Mm-hmm. There could be other ones that I maybe forgot about, but I don't think they've shown up. Maybe alluded to, though I could just be misremembering. I could just be mixing it up with Universe B, so who knows?
Yeah, so Hot Girls B and C are inside of Nanza, and they're terrorizing this girl who's been rumored to be a songstress. And we're like, oh my God, we have to go help her. So we approach her, and an FMV starts, and you have like Vile Tribe about to beat up this girl, and the girl looks up, and it's this girl is wearing drag makeup and a Princess Peach dress, and it's fucking Kyle, who is like protecting the actual songstresses there in his town by pretending to be the songstress so that he could lure them and beat the shit out of them. And that's how we get introduced to Kyle, and it's great.
That's cool.
I love it.
Yeah, Kyle's actually really good. His stats are amazing. Actually, I'm not actually sure if his stats are amazing. I do know that, okay, so at this point, Alex and my other hardest hitter, Jessica, are both doing like around 40 damage per hit, and they're hitting usually twice per turn, so it's about 80. Kyle's literally doing about 80 damage per hit and hitting twice per turn. He's literally twice as good as them, and has farther running range. Wait, no. Yeah. Probably about the same as Alex, but more than Jessica. Jessica has a short running range, which is annoying. But I'm not actually sure if he's actually stronger, because the thing is, I think I told you last week, I've basically been never buying any equipment because shit's too expensive in this version of the game. The money isn't balanced very well. I never have enough money. But also the game's easy. So I'm just like, why would I spend money on a new sword if it's a lot of my money and I don't need a new sword? So I literally haven't bought equipment for my characters since like the first town. So it could just be that Kyle comes equipped with a way better sword than everyone else does. Though occasionally, although I do still find stuff in chests and dungeons and stuff, but not a lot. Like I don't even know what my character equipment is, because sometimes I get a new thing in a dungeon and that's it, right? Or maybe Kyle's just way stronger than everyone else. Who knows? He fucking rules, though. So we finally have reached the interior of the continent. So we got a few locations. Going to lay it out. First, we got the outlaw town of Reza. We got the sort of more intellectual village of Iluk, where weirdos and scientists live, I guess. We also hear tell of a volcano, what a red dragon cave is at. We also hear tell of a dude named Dagon, whom lives in a tower near the volcano and, knows everything. We obviously think, well, shit, if Dagon is so important, we'd better go talk to him. We better go talk to this.
If he's so Dagon important.
I was about to say, we better go talk to this dadgum Dagon Dragoon.
Shit. I got there first. I did it. I've successfully interrupted.
Good job, Sam. Sam, I mean Eli. I'm so sorry, Eli. Eli. I apologize.
Gave Sam my credit.
Oh, I stole your valor. So this shit gets really open to do. But if I'm not missing anything, here's sort of how I did it, but condensed and hopefully easy to understand. So as soon as we get to Reza, I went there first because it was the first town that I found, right? As soon as we get to Reza, someone steals our shit. Oh no! We explore the town and find out it's basically Australia, aka a former prison camp, but now a shady outlaw town. We find that the guy has fled to the basement of the bar, which is the Thieves Guild. But we're not allowed into the Thieves Guild because we're not in the Thieves Guild. So we explore and, oh shit, we meet the cool guy again. I forget his name. What's the name of the cool guy?
Lake.
His name is Lake. I didn't forget it. We fill him in. He says if we want to beat Galleon, we need to be must stronger, but also mere strength isn't enough. He also tells us if we want to get the dragon armor, we should talk to the inventor in Iluk, because he knows how to get to the Red Dragon Cave. So we talk to the bartender to join the Thieves Guild and go down there to get our shit. So here's how we join the Thieves Guild. From what I understand, it's a lot more work in y'all's game. We talk to the bartender. It's like a weird joke I don't get, but he's like, oh, you want to join the Thieves Guild? Well, if you want to do that, you got to do a task for me. See that treasure chest over there that we had previously noticed was locked? You need to open it. So we go over there, and there's like a little cutscene, not a cutscene, it's a scripted scene, where Kyle is like, I'm so strong, I'm going to open it. So it's a lot of like her and of him trying to open it. And then it doesn't open. I think he was like, oh, it takes a real man to open it. And then Jessica's like, you're right, it does take a real man. I wonder if we'll ever be able to find one. But then I was like, oh, so that's a little funny thing. Now I'm going to have a quest, right? No. Then he just like gets mad and hits it, and then it opens. And there's a Thieves Crest inside, and we go back, and the guy's like, cool, you're in the Thieves Guild now. So that was getting into the Thieves Guild. So we go downstairs, and there's the doorman is like, you're too young to be in the Thieves Guild, but sure. We find the guy who took our stuff, and he says he was hypnotized by a hot lady. He's actually one of Kyle's men, and Kyle apologizes for him being hypnotized by a hot lady. Look, whomst among us, okay? So we again learn of an inventor making a flying machine in Iluk. at the Thieves Bazaar, there's like 4 shops with all sorts of good shit there, including two important items: soap and cloud. Man, this bazaar has everything. So soap is for an optional scene, but we do be needing cloud. If you talk to the NPCs, you'll be aware of the fact that you need these 2 things. It's all very open-ended, very Dragon Quest 3, even more like 2E. You gotta be talking to NPCs, you gotta be figuring shit out from different towns. But so I'm skipping the part where I didn't know I needed the cloud, right? So anyway, we head to Eluk. We talk to an inventor guy, and he says he'll totally...
I'm going to stop you there, because we have 3 dungeons.
Give me
in between those last 2
more,
stints,
because I think that it might match up if I talk a little bit more first. Just hold on.
Maybe.
Like literally 2 more paragraphs. Oh no, I mean, okay. I'm sure yours is way different. I just think this is slightly better stopping point for me. So we talked to an inventor guy, and he says he'll totally let us test out his invention when it's done. He's been looking for chumps, heroes. But first, we gotta go to the desert and kill mobs until we get an item he needs to finish the balloon. The drop rate is super small. It takes like 1,000,000 years. Anyway, we give the item to the dude, and he goes to finish his hot air balloon. Hell yes! Jessica volunteers to steer it, because as we recall, she's a boatswain. Then we get a hilarious scene. The balloon works amazingly. We get an overworld scene of it flying with this lovely music. It flies right to the volcano, and then past it, and then it circles around, and then it flies towards the spire, and then it curves away, and then it goes around for a while, and then the winds pick up and start blowing us back toward Reza, and then the steering breaks, and then we crash right in the middle of Reza, and 0 progress is made. It's hilarious. I don't even know if this scene's even necessary now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't remember that scene.
Yeah, that didn't happen to us. So
the people who made Silver Star Stories sure didn't think so.
Yeah, so we end up getting to, just so you know, we do end up getting to the spire a different way. And I can't remember if going that different way was somehow gated by this scene, but I don't actually think so. I think it's literally just... You're doing Dragon Quest style, following the NPCs to solve the mystery of where to fucking go, and one of the routes just doesn't work, which is really funny, but maybe not. Anyway, okay, y'all tell me how this worked in Universe B.
Okay, so we make it to Reza. And we get our dragon wings stolen. So now our Pokemon has forgot the move Fly, so we cannot go wherever we need to. And we're like, well, that's shitty.
Yeah.
We need
Ours
to get
were
that
stolen
back.
too. I forgot about that. It wasn't just our shit. It was our dragon wings. Yeah, but go on.
So we go to try and find him, and like, oh, yeah, that was a thief. But in Reza, the only way that they can have a society completely built on thieves is there's one rule, and it's illegal to steal from a member of the Thieves Guild. The 2 guildmates can't steal from each other. So we need to join the Thieves Guild so that we can do it. But we have an initiation.
So the law works retroactively?
Basically.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The leader of the Thieves Guild says so, at least. So
yeah,
I guess you could go to and say that you remember the Thieves Guild and show them your badge, I guess. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so we have to do initiation where we have to go, like, thieve up a town. And I don't remember what in particular we have to get from that town, but we head to the town of Myriad.
And like a book, I think?
Yeah, oh yeah, we have to go and get this town. They have this, like, ancient thievery book, and we have to go and get it. It's like the I almost said Kama Sutra of thieving, but I was trying to refer to, I think, the Art of War, but whatever. The Thieves Guild Kama Sutra. Have to go and catch.
It's the I Ching of thieving.
Yes. So we have to go to Myriad and get it. And when we get there, Myriad is a whole lot of excuses to make incest jokes is what it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of that.
Hey, did y'all know that all rednecks are stupid and also do incest all the time? It's true.
Oh man,
they're all like
it's
that.
True and funny.
Yeah, this whole town felt
like
a little mean-spirited to me, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Also,
so
they didn't. Also, in my version of the game, they didn't do typing the accents very well at all. It was completely off. I was like, that's not how you would type that if they had a southern accent. That's not right.
Yeah, so we go to Myriad, and we're trying to find where it is, and they're like, oh, they're over there on the other side. And they're like, but it's across this rickety bridge. Don't all cross it at once, or you'll all fall in and drown. And we're like, yeah, whatever. We're JRPG parties. Nothing bad ever happens to us.
Also, we have to walk in a straight line. We're a JRPG party.
Yes, so we go to walk over the bridge. It collapses underneath us. We fall into the water. We get everybody back together. It's not really that important, but we do find that the book is at the top of Damon's tower. It is, and it's kind of like a lot of people are trying to steal it, but no one can make their way through Damon's tower. So we then go to Damon's tower and we just walk there and make our way up the tower, doing little door puzzles in the dungeon. There's a lot of really cool, cute, like power of friendship type scenes that will be all over my memoms, but they're not important here. But basically we get to the top and we prove that we have power of will as well as power of beating things up. Damon approves and gives us the book, and we open it and it's like, how to be a thief. Rule 1, don't get caught. Rule 2, don't steal from other thieves. Rule 3, there are no rules except for 1 and 2. And that's the entirety of the book. And then we can take that back to join the Thieves Guild and get our wings back and see all the cool shops. And then a scene happens where Hot Girl Z, one of the other ones, kidnaps a girl in front of our eyes. And this little bitty girl was a songstress, and she gets kidnapped right there in front of us. And we vow to get her back. And to do so, we have to go and catch so we vow to get her back, and we're like, but what can we do? And Hot Girl, thankfully, as she's leaving, taunts us, because all of them have kind of been taunting us that they can see our future and we're going to die in the future. And they're like, oh, the red light that you're hoping to see will soon go out, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I can't wait until I get to watch you die. And we're like, the red light, that's obviously the red dragon. We have to go there. And then one of the people there is like, the only way over would be if you had a flying machine, which I stole these blueprints from somebody in Iluk. You can have these blueprints, take them there, and he'll make you a flying machine.
You've hopscotched, like jump frogged way past me now, so it's gonna be very confusing for people. You should have stopped at the tower. Anyway, okay, so that's where we're at. Okay, so back in Universe A. Okay, see, this part's so open-ended. I thought we probably should have just done it all at once. Anyway, whatever.
Because we haven't even fully caught up necessarily. Oh man.
Yeah, it's we haven't caught up, but we're past it.
You have, because I only have a little bit left.
Yeah, but we also haven't done any of the balloon stuff yet, or equivalent of your desert dungeon.
But anyway, let me do my part. So. I forget how we figured this out, but by doing more exploring, we learned there's another town to north called myriad. It's a redneck town. This town was actually already there, but I didn't notice it until now, so it wasn't part of my thought process. Fun fact: I was streaming this, and around this time, actually a bit before this point, I started doing. It was really late, and I was really tired. And I started doing a Texas, a really strong Texas accent just for fun. And this is before I got to myriad, so it was kind of funny. And I was way into it by the time I got there. So I was like, yeah, I guess this is just how it is now. I'm streaming. Hello, I'm redneck today. So the lady tells us not to cross the bridge because it's weak, but we do it anyway, and it collapses, and we all get swept downriver, and then our party is separated, and we gotta explore the town to find them. It's funny. A dude in this town tells us another way to get to the spire. Go south until we hit the coast. And then there's some kind of weird hill that's obviously a sea monster of some sort. If you're me, you did already notice this ages ago, but couldn't find any way of interacting with it. It's just it looks weird. Turns out you gotta play a pretty song to wake it up. And it so happens that we have a harp. We go and do that, and yes, turns out it's a giant sea turtle. We ride on top of it, and great music plays, and he delivers us where we want to go. Damon's Spire. So we climb Davmon's Spire. Kind of an interesting dungeon with some cool puzzles, actually. The aforementioned door puzzles Sam mentioned were in my game as well. At the top, we get to a huge library. There's some books you can read, but they're really not that interesting. We meet Damon. He says he's the guardian.
Yours aren't interesting? I'll bring that up in Bombs.
If they were interesting. We meet Damon. He says he's the guardian of all the knowledge of the world and will help me find Zenobia. She'll appear next in Reza, and her next victim is Lily. Fuck! I forgot to talk about Lily, but when you're exploring Reza, when you go down to the Thieves Guild, Bazaar, there is another girl whom sings. So right after that, I'm thinking, oh fuck, she's gonna get kidnapped. But apparently, our characters weren't far enough to think about that because we had to have Damon tell us. So he says, oh fuck, she's gonna go get kidnapped. So we hightail it back, but we're too late. We confront Zenobia, and she says, fuck you, and teleports away with Lily. The good news is, not only can we teleport to the spire, but we can teleport to the top of the spire, right next to Damon. Nice. So we go back, but he doesn't actually offer any advice. He's just like, oh, that sucks, dude. Go get the dragon armor. So then we just walk to the Red Dragon Cave, which is near the spire. Remember that cloud I mentioned earlier? We got to use the cloud to cool the lava and make a path to enter the dungeon. Whatever. But we do. And we go through the dungeon, and we meet the Red Dragon Spirit just as it's fading. He says, welcome, take my shield. Sorry, it's shield, not armor. I said armor earlier. It's actually shield. Whatever. We get the Dragon Fire spell, the Dragon Shield, a bunch of XP, and that's it for me. So, how does it work for
It's not
y'all?
at all that for us. So, post Damon's Tower, So we have a whole lot of really interesting books that set up the lore of the lore, as it were, where it's like, oh, these are the prophecies that Dine fulfilled type thing, which is pretty cool. And according to new friend Nameless in the Discord, it is heavily ties it into Eternal Blue, which is really cool. But we read to our heart's content, and then we take the book back, join the Thieves Guild. Lily gets kidnapped. We got to take the flying machine. So we go to Iluk, and we show the guy the blueprints. He's like, oh, I can totally make these for you. I just need a fluffy bug. And we're like, okay, cool. We can get you that. So we talk to the botanist who opens up his garden for us to go catch fluffy bugs. And I see what they were trying to do, but they didn't try hard enough. So one of the NPCs says that even he can't tell the difference between puffy bugs and fluffy bugs, and only fluffy bugs will work. And so it's trying to tell you that it'll be a subtle color difference, but it's like the puffy bugs are like 255 purple, and the fluffy bugs are like 253 pink.
Oh,
and
really?
It's like
Mine,
barely. Go ahead.
I don't remember which one was the right bug and which was the wrong, but the wrong bug was blue and the right bug was pink. Like, it was a very clear difference. Oh, and I'm like, how can you not tell these apart?
Oh, no. I have screenshots up in the host only if you want to see the pink and not pink that these bugs were.
Yeah, mine were very distinct from each other.
Yeah, so if you are colorblind, please play the mobile version of this video game.
I'm playing the PSX version.
The mobile version is the PSX port.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you will allow me a second. As a person with a red-green Dutan's color deficiency, fuck this entire area. It's the worst. This is what I spent literal hours doing. I was supposed to be getting ahead in my NaNoWriMo and stuff, and instead my entire evening was lost in trying to figure out to find these stupid bugs. It was very bad, and I hate it. This area is bad.
So in defense of the game, they do a whole lot besides the color to point you towards it. Like the fluffy bugs won't attack your character, and like in this game, the like overworld mobs are vicious. Like in most games, I try to sneak past it. I almost don't even try anymore in this game because I can't do it. Like they just will catch you no matter what.
Yeah.
But these don't run towards you, so it's a big hint. Like, hey, that something's different about this one, which is kind of cool. The color's a little off. When you get into battle with it, there's one fluffy bug and it runs away. So if you win that battle, the camera then will follow that fluffy bug as it runs to a different part of the dungeon for you to go and do it. They do a lot of things, but finding that first one before you get all of the scripted stuff, like it runs away and all of that, is not a fun time. And because it doesn't chase you, and this is a game with mobs on the overworld, you're trying to dodge them anyways, so it's not chasing you, and you're just like, oh wow, I did it. I got past one this time. But that was the one you did not need to get past. So
it's worth noting too just how many mobs this area has.
Oh,
it is packed full of them. So when you're just like going through, if you missed that one, you're going to end up in so many battles and spending so much time without ever actually, getting the thing you need to get because you passed it in the first room.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But fluffy bug in hand, we take it back. He dissects it, hooks it up to the thing. He doesn't explain why that makes a hot air balloon, but it does. And we get in the hot air balloon, and we easily take it up and go straight into the volcano. Inside of the volcano, one of the hot girls, I think it is actually Zenobia this time, she shows up to taunt us and 6 demon dogs at us in a really cool boss fight that's super trivial because Mia just got her big ass ice spell, and the town before sold ice equipment, and these are Cerberus fire dogs, so they died real easy. And on top of that, we spent about 6 hours looking for fucking bugs and fighting thousands of enemies. So every time the Cerberus would like try to hit me, I would jump out of the way. It would be a miss because I was just way higher level than it. So we fight it, and it's like, well, too bad the dragon's not even in there, so you guys fucking suck. And so we go in there, and of course the dragon isn't there, but the dragon's is like, hey, don't worry. My soul is immortal, so even though my body is gone, I still can talk to you, and we'll still meet again one day. And Null gets like really affected by it. Like he's like gonna cry the whole time, just like, oh, it's so sad that the dragon is dying, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And so the dragon's like, hey, here's the shield. It gets this like computer generated FMV of us receiving the shield, and it is super extra for something not fucking important at all. And so we get the shield and make our way back out of the dungeon. We get into the hot air balloon and we ride it up, and that's when we get the crashing the hot air balloon, and it crashes into Reza, and that's where we save. So things still haven't lined up perfectly for us yet, but it's kind of close, and it's kind of cool.
Also, just so y'all are curious, the next thing, technically we do stop the game here, but if when we first broke that bridge, you talk to this one person, he's like, oh, I reckon I'll get around to fixing it. And I know that's a terrible accent. I'm making fun of the game here. But he doesn't, because he is a lazy bumpkin. So I did check just to be sure, because I didn't know where else to fucking go. If you go back up to Maribel, the bridge is back. So next week, I'm pretty sure both of us are just going across that bridge. So we are, I guess, kind of all on the same page now. But anywho, cool. So thank you for joining, man. And here I thought Chrono Cross was the game about 2 different dimensions.
Yeah.
But really, it's this one. That's it for the week.
Let's talk about memorable moments, because I have a whole bunch.
Same.
I actually have some this week.
Ooh.
So, this game is horny.
This game is really horny.
Kyle mentions at one point that he needs protection, and Jessica thinks he means condoms. He corrects her and says no, he means a shield. Kyle also makes a remark to Royce at some point, and I forgot to write the exact line down, but he says something about using his tongue, and she's like, maybe later. I was just like, whoa. In Damon's Spire, so when you're doing the thing where you have to make the sculpture, if you can go through all the different characters and see what they make, and Jessica makes a pendant, but Kyle says it looks like an IUD.
How would they even have those at this in this time period?
I don't know. I don't know if
working designs.
I wouldn't say that this is in a particular time period because it feels like it's a totally different universe. So their technology may match up in some ways and may not match up in others. So I don't know. I guess in this world they have intrauterine devices. I guess, sure. And then there was also a mention at the Thieves Guild of being able to get something at the Quickie Mart, which is spelled exactly like it is in The Simpsons, and that made me laugh.
Wow.
But yeah, I thought there was one more that I didn't write down. Oh, that's right. I have a screenshot. Sorry, 1 second. When you go into the Thieves Guild finally, and you go to get the Dragon Wing staff back, the guy who stole it from you says, "You're that Kyle? Well, spank my bottom and call me a pinky." And I was just like, "No, I won't be doing that. Thank you." Yeah, that's what I got.
That's great. Negasam, what do you have?
Well, I guess I'll start by continuing off the "this game is horny" trend, because I also had a couple notes on that front. One is that there is a girl in Saith who is like obsessed with Alex after they all like saved them from the boat monster earlier. And when I went back to Saith, like to bring Galleon to Berg, I talked to her, and this is like the model, at least. This is like a little girl, like a 10-year-old girl with a crush or something. And she says that Alex keeps getting hotter, and soon she won't be able to contain herself. And Null tries to bring attention to himself instead, but she just says she's not a cat person. And I quote, "Alex is the only one who melts my butter."
Ew.
So. Yeah, that happens.
You know what's not a sexy food? Butter.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's another bit. Remember the lady in the Thieves Town where Kyle was, who said something about how like we kids are too young to know what her wares are. Once you get Kyle in your party, if you talk to her again, she'll say that same thing, and then Kyle's like, "Why are you looking at her so weird? She sells herbs to relieve constipation." So I guess that's what that actually is. That's
so good.
Yeah. And then I guess on a more serious note, but still relating to how horny the game is, so obviously Jessica's best character, right? Just like in general. But I love this subversion of the like virginal white mage stereotype, specifically because it's not like the innocent virginal female character is actually the knight or whatever, which is also good, but what they're doing in here is basically having this character who would theoretically be the healer and be this like usually when you have like the women who are the healers in these games, they're extremely like innocent and virginal. Like you could not convince me that Yuna in Final Fantasy X knows what sex is, until 10-2, but we can just ignore that.
I mean, or the lake scene, depending on your interpretation of it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like generally this character's type is like that. Jessica is 100% not like that. She's very rebellious. She definitely fucks. Like, we know these things about her character and her characterization, but she still can be the white mage, and I just really like that like we have not just a subversion of the character type, but basically still that character type, the white mage, but she doesn't have to be that, like, you know, perfect innocent little girl character to play that, you know, dope party healer role. I like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
They didn't be like, they didn't be like, we're subverting it by having her not be a white mage anymore. It's like, no, she still is. That's what makes her cool.
Yeah. I like, because I've seen that other subversion a lot, and it's always great also, but just this, I don't think I'd seen this type of subverting that role, and I liked it. Are we going to be talking about the Springs later? I visited the Springs. Is that going to be a thing later?
It was going to be one of my memorable moments.
Okay, I'll let you talk about that then.
Y'all can share that. I was gonna, but yeah, it's whatever.
I'll skip over that then, since we'll be doing more. One thing I did mean to ask, did the Sega CD version have a bit in, like, that forest dungeon-y area where Stone Mel showed up? And then, like, when you get to him, he turns everyone except Jessica to stone, and then basically says, like, hey, look, you can't do this, just join me, it'll be fine. And she basically gives into it, and then Kyle just fucking breaks out of the stone from sheer will and is like, Mel would never ask his daughter to join him in death, I'm gonna beat you to a pulp, and then does. And it turns out it was one of the evil women, like, disguised as Mel or whatever. But that, like, whole thing, did that happen in the Sega CD version?
None of that happened. No.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was really cool.
It frankly doesn't make any sense that Kyle would be able to just break a stone spell out of sheer will, but it was cool. And that was honestly the first moment that I was like, I kind of like this guy, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole thing was interesting, and I liked that scene. Let's see. Okay, just two other things, I think.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. Three other things. One super quick one. After Mel is turned to stone, one of the people, the asshole dude who owned the shop that now works for Ramus, if you talk to him, he said that the shop had considered selling Master Mel's stone-washed jeans, but it seemed inappropriate under the circumstances, so they didn't.
That's really funny, actually.
Okay, and then just regarding the galleon thing, because we talked about that a little earlier, I was also kind of fooled by that, because at first I was, they revealed all the bad guys and he wasn't one of them. So I was like, oh, okay, weird, sure. And it seemed weird to me that he would, like, they were straight up trying to, like, do some evil experiment on Luna or something. And I was like, it seems kind of weird that he would just, like, go along with that, but okay. But then when you're in Berg, there's this bit, if you take him up to Dine's Dine Shrine.
Dine's grave, yeah.
He has this bit of conversation about how
I have the screenshots. I can read it if you want me to.
That would be fantastic. I have a summary in my notes somewhere, but
he says, what purpose does this pathetic monument stand to serve? A pitiful attempt to keep Dine's memory alive? Our world must stop dwelling on the relics of the past and look forward towards the future. A future ruled by one stronger than a feeble dragon master. One who can unite the world with pure strength of will alone.
And see, in hindsight, obviously foreshadowing how evil he is or whatever, but there was a moment there where I was thinking, I didn't expect him to be, like, kind of bitter about what happened, and that's interesting. I'm interested in seeing where this, and
pretty
then,
cool. It's like
he just ended up being evil, but
Yeah, but it is cool that, like, you saved the world, but you think that the cost shouldn't have been what it was. Like, that's neat.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing if it sort of, like, turns into his motivation or whatever, or if that's just kind of, he's evil now, because I don't know, because that angle seemed interesting to me. But then, when it turned out he was fake too, I was legitimately like, oh, I didn't expect that. But then I was kind of, okay, have we all played Wind Waker?
Yes.
Yeah.
At least a little bit of it?
No, I haven't played it, but I've watched people play it.
Okay. I don't want to, I mean, mild Wind Waker spoilers, but this moment's talked about a lot. You know that bit where you have this super cool, badass lady Tetra with you, and then this king shows up and he's all like, hey, actually, you're Princess Zelda, and then he puts her in a dress and tells her to stay put?
Oh, yeah.
That sucked a lot. I hated that, and I kind of felt that way about this thing with Luna, and I'm sure that's partially because of how this version handles it, where she was with us the whole time, but I kind of am a little upset that we had this cool character and then sort of the moment the important stuff happens, she just gets damseled anyway. And we'll see where that goes. I just kind of wish that hadn't happened. I guess it seemed like this game was doing a decent job so far of not doing all of the stuff that I just kind of expected to do, and then it just kind of did.
Yeah.
I do like it on a purely gameplay level though, because Luna is OP as shit. Her limit break is a full Pokemon center. Like it just heals everybody HP and MP in the middle of thing. Like she's really freaking strong, and you kind of rely on that. I definitely relied on that when Eli was like, this was really hard. I was like, oh, I had a limit break, so it was really easy for me. Yeah. And now I don't have that, and I have Jessica as my healer. And Jessica has all the same basic spells, but her limit break is a damage dealing limit break, and it's way different and not as overpowered. And I like that it kind of like dangled it in front of you and then took your nice toys away. But I agree that Luna deserved better than just being kidnapped.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. But yeah, I think that's all my main moments. Overall, I don't know. I'm enjoying the game, but this segment definitely laid bare some of the stuff that I had been glad it hadn't been doing up to this point. Like structurally, also, these JRPGs have a tendency to simplify the structure of their storytelling a lot. I mean, the extreme of that is obviously get the 4 crystals and then, nothing important happens until you get all 4 of them. And this isn't that, thankfully, but it has started doing a lot more of the we need to go talk to the Red Dragon. Okay, here's a bunch of random bullshit we gotta do to get there kind of stuff. And, I don't know. I think it does a decent job keeping it all interesting, but there were definitely a couple times that I felt like I was spinning my wheels because the game was making me, and that's always frustrating. But yeah, still enjoying it overall.
Yeah, so our second nonlinear section is not nonlinear for us. It is a strict sequence of cause to effect, and I wonder if I wouldn't have had that feeling if it was nonlinear for me.
Yeah,
just more
I didn't feel like there was
try to figure out where to go.
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was any wheel spinning because it was an interesting that's fun when you're just piecing it all together to NPCs, right? Instead of it being a linear series of cutscenes. Also, frankly, there wasn't as much of it. Well, I don't know. There was about as much. It was just, I mean, there were fewer dungeons, but there was still the same amount of going around. But yeah, having multiple NPCs being where's oh, you should go and talk to that guy, and you being okay, cool, I guess I should. That's even though you're literally just talking to NPCs, that's action. That's literally that's gameplay. That's me using my brain instead of you watching a bunch of cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
Was that all that you had, Negasam?
I believe so, and it was plenty. Okay. I feel like I've talked a while, so that's I'm pretty sure that's everything.
So in Berg, there is a second optional scene where if you take Galleon to Luna's little spring thing that she always hangs out at, you can take him there, and he'll hear Luna singing while they're there. I think this is after you spend the night and you have to go get Luna in the morning or something like that. Maybe, I don't fucking remember. But you walk up there, and Galleon is oh, she's singing Althena's song, which is cool, but also, why are they then abducting songstresses? Showing this to us at this point of the remake kind of makes the plot not make sense, but whatever the fuck. Yeah. It's if you know you have Althena, why did you kidnap Lily? But So he's like, oh, it makes sense now, and it flashes back to that playable prologue where you hear Althena sing that song, and it's the full party heal limit break that Luna does, and it gives the party a full heal, and they come back, have a bunch of the power of friendship. This song isn't just empty. This is the song that taught us about joy and sadness and blah blah blah, and now we're going to kick your ass. And he remembers it, and he mutters under his breath, no, you and I are not the same Eiffel, which was the name of the bad guy that they fought before.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, when I was reading today, is Eiffel does not appear in either of Maddy's game or Eli's game. So that's a whole little subplot that was added for the PSP version, which is kind of cool. Other than that, the FMV where Galleon becomes a Darth Vader ass and reveals that he's a bad guy is really cool and has a lot of really dope shots, including this awesome shot of Luna like with like realization on her face. Like she doesn't look scared that she's about to be kidnapped. She's like, oh, you're the main bad guy, and also I think I'm the main good guy, and this kind of fucking sucks. And it's a really cool FMV, and I really liked it. Past that, let's see.
I thought of another one.
Go for it.
Have you all used the soap?
Yes, I have. That was going to be one of mine, so I'll bring it up now. So at the when you're at the bottom of the Thieves Guild and you get the blueprints, the guy also hands you a bar of soap, and you're like, what the fuck? What do I need soap for? So if you go to Althena's shrine that's in this part of the continent, it doesn't give you a free full party hill. I mean, you can walk inside and talk to the thing, but like there's not like a free in type thing. So you go talk to them, and they're like, oh, bathe in the shrine, and your dialogue choices are, yes, my body odor is getting to me, or no, this underwear is only a week old. So if you have the soap in your inventory and you say, yes, my body odor is getting to me, you get a sexy hot spring scene, but it's only the guys, and you get to see Nash's butt, and it's great.
It's barely censored.
It is not even censored at all, almost, and it's great.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any censoring actually.
It was like very, very like his ass crack at the bottom was mosaicked out very slightly.
Yeah, it's great. And a great thing of characterization is Kyle is in the water, so he's not wearing a towel at all. Nash has a towel that has like excuse me, has like 8,000 hair products in it because his hair has that coif, and so he has like 7 bottles of shampoo on it, and Alex is just rinsing with a pitcher. And then when you see Nash's butt, he's staring at himself in the mirror, and it's great. But let's see.
I didn't get that. I saw Kyle's ass very clearly.
Oh, you saw Kyle's. I guess maybe it shows a different ass every time you bring it soap.
Yeah, apparently. So when I use a guide for this, and it's a good guide. It's not an IGN guide, because it has taken me every step of the way. Beautiful guide. Mwah, thank you. I don't remember the website it's on. I'll plug it next time. But anyway, it told me early on to buy at least 2, if not 3 bars of soap. And I was like, what the fuck is this for? All right. And it used, like, I spent all my money on that goddamn soap. And now I'm like, all right, this is worth it.
Love to see anime butts.
Yeah.
But, so Damon's Tower for us, all of the power of friendship, little conversation puzzles were really cool. There was one where you had to pick who be directing the others to create the sculpture, because it was this huge wad of clay, and you only had a certain amount of time where you could do it. So you couldn't just one person take forever. You all had to work together, and you could have gone through and picked all the wrong answers. The right answer is Alex, but I had only done Jessica is the wrong answer at first, and she like makes this jewelry thing or whatever, and it's really really cute. But on one of them, I forget which one, I think Nash says something like, "Oh, let me do it. I can make the clay." And she goes, Jessica says, "Back off, ego, Angelo. The last thing I need is you and Kyle to have a narcissism duel," which I thought was great. And then all of the lore in the books is really fucking cool. Basically, from what I understand, so there are two stars in this system, Earth and the Moon. One is the silver star, the Moon. The other one is the blue star, Earth, up in the sky. And everyone was hanging out, having a great time on Earth. But then there was catastrophic war. So Althena left the fate of the world in the hands of a girl and left to the Moon to create this second world on the Moon, which is kind of really cool. And Dine did something, I forget what his prophecy was, but that prophecy was just to set up his successor, and his successor would finish the real prophecy, which is us. We already know we're going to be the Dragon Master. It's kind of the whole point, but it's still really cool that it's like, oh, there was this whole like Earth lore, and Earth is a shithole right now, and that's why we're living on the Moon, because we done blued it up, so the goddess left, and it's kind of really cool. But that's about all I have of that. While Maddy talks about hers, I will pull up our first, like, this is the first time we've had someone like respond to the episode right after it came out with like corrections and shit, is our new friend Nameless from the Discord. He gave us a 3 goddamn kilobyte text file of corrections and shit, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So I will pull that up while Maddy talks about it.
Okay, so a few things. Just one thing. First of all, or just a few things. The soap thing is pretty much the same for me. Although, funny enough, it wasn't given to us in a cutscene. When we went downstairs to the bazaar, it's just a thing that they're selling. You look at a store and it's like, armor, healing item, soap. And you find out from an NPC that there's this hot spring that'll, heal you right up. And then once you get to the hot spring, they're like, oh, you can't take the bath here unless you have soap. So then you go, oh, I gotta go get the soap. When you go back, they're like, yeah, it's only for men. I know, it's discriminatory, but hey, it's a tradition, which I find funny. Let's see. In Reza, there's this guy who's standing near the town square. You talk to him, and he's just like, I'm so bored. I just want to see something cool happen. And that's all he says. And then later, when the hot air balloon crashes, it crashes right in front of him. And he goes, man, oh man, that was so cool. So he's real happy about that. Also, turns out, I think I recall mentioning that one of the game drops multiple hints to the same location, because that way we're more likely to see them, which is what you should do if you're doing like a NPC style figured out kind of game. But one of the NPCs that told you about the guy building the invention up in Eluk, he was down in the Thieves Guild. And after all this shit happened with it crashing, you go and you talk to him again, and basically he admits that the inventor had paid him to get someone to go and be his guinea pig for his invention. So it was all like a scam, all like a setup, basically, which is really funny. Also, let's see. thought I had more than this. Also, at some point, when you're in the book room, the top of the tower of the books, one of them, I don't know the context of this. Oh, there was a book about video games, and eventually it says, video games will eventually rot the minds of all that they enslave. And I'm like,
oh gosh.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and those are all of mine, apparently. I guess I didn't take very many screenshots this time around. Yeah.
Cool. So I will read and skip a couple paragraphs of what Nameless dropped. He got some cool knowledge for us. So he says to answer some questions that were brought up so far, Silver Star story, the PlayStation 1 version, stresses that Dine's last adventure occurred 15 years ago to the game proper. The significance of this number might vary between this and the original version. So something might be different in the Silver Star about it being precisely 15 years ago. And he also brought up that Silver Star Harmony for the PSP kind of did the Spoony Bard of it all, where like a lot of the working designs translation was like remembered and revered, so they left a lot of stuff in it that Xseed doesn't normally leave in. Xseed is usually a lot more true to the text, but they had a lot of the stuff, including apparently the Tootsie Pop joke is in the Xseed version because it was famous, and so it's kind of it's like a redo, but they didn't like go all the way to do a redo because they like everyone loved the original one, which is kind of cool. Then he says that the first Vane sequence where we meet Mia, Galleon, and Galleon's mission briefing all takes place within the same day. Apparently, one of us had said that a couple of days later, but it's all the same day. And he also says that as we deduced on the podcast, Lunar does take place on the moon. It's the Silver Star to the Blue Star nearby. Knowing that, several questions come to mind, chief among them being the simplest why. The answers are touched on all ports, like I mentioned, but never elaborated on in great detail until Lunar Eternal Blue. And then this part...
Is that the sequel, or...
What was that?
Sorry, which one is Eternal Blue? Is that the second one? Or?
It's this sequel, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I have that.
Yeah.
I'll need to play that after this.
Yeah, I'm probably the moment we finish loading up Lunar Eternal Blue, because this game is really good and I really like it. And then Nameless now mentions Maddy by name. He actually couldn't remember who said it, but he's adding Maddy right now. He says, quote, back in 1993, we meet the best character in the fucking game. It's Jessica, who I just now, writing these notes, realize is totally an elf. And he goes, to Maddy, there's a lot to unpack here, so let's prioritize it all, starting with the most pressing. Jessica is not an elf. She is half beast woman. Her mother was human, and Mel is a beast man. While your elf racism remains intact despite your feelings towards Jessica, you might be on the furry radar.
No, to be clear, I said she's an elf because she has pointy elf ears. That's literally the only reason. And because she's extremely OP, which is elves.
Yes.
Yeah. She is like, on one hand, thank you for the information. However, I knew what I was saying was stupid when I said it, so it doesn't count. No, she is conceptually an elf, right? Obviously, there's been no mentions of elves in this game. Actually, I didn't even know that beast women existed either, so there you go. Apparently, those are a thing in this game's lore.
Nice. And he says that the sequel features other Beastmen, but Mel's the only one that exists in this game, and they were supposed to be a bigger deal. That's why one was on the team, but NPCs are hard to make a lot more of, so they didn't do that. But he says, in any case, I look forward to the rest of the episodes, both pertaining to Lunar and well beyond that. The podcast is entertaining so far, so thank you for that. And he says that Lunar being all about music and being of the 90s, there were a bunch of Image songs if you are unfamiliar with image songs, it's basically a song that is in character, that the character wrote it. So it's like, it like will turn whatever work you have into a musical, even though it's not a musical. So you just buy the CD and it's like, oh, this is Jessica's song. And just he dropped us a link to Jessica's image song, which is called Pretty Girl, and it's performed by her voice actor from the Sega Saturn. And as a fun fact, the Japanese voice actors are different in every single port, which is wild because the translations aren't as crazy different as they are in ours. But yeah, that's basically all he says. Just then says, have fun, see you guys later, and he'll be tuning in. So thank you for that, Nameless. You are our first real piece of like response mail. All the ones you had before is just Matt making fucking jokes. So thank you for that. But if you would like to send us some stuff to read aloud, you can do so by hitting us up on our website at www.rpgbook.club. It has links to all of our socials, and you can come and join us and tell us all the stupid things that we said wrong, and we will read it and be ashamed on the podcast. Next week, we will be completing everything that happens at the Black Dragon Fort. So we'll be doing 2 dragons worth. And yeah, that will be a good stopping spot. It might be thick. It looks not as thick as this time, but who fucking knows? This game might have a big nonlinear bug catching section in the fucking middle, and it'd be another 6 goddamn hours of our life that we waste.
Yeah, look, as long as I don't have to catch any more damn slightly differently colored bugs, I will be content.
Yeah. But
slightly different colored bugs are the bane of your existence now.
Yeah, yes. Pretty much. Slightly different colored things in general are the bane of my existence, but gosh, you know.
Yeah. And also next week we will be announcing the next poll because we have 3 episodes remaining in our time through Lunar. And so next week we will be announcing the next block, and it's fucking dumb, guys. Like I'm excited for Eli to hate these games because everyone else will hate them too. It's not like
finally
with Chrono Cross, it's like, oh, me and Maddy really liked it, and the average person really likes it, but for specific reason, Eli hates it. No, we're playing some garbage, and we've been wanting to play some garbage since we started the podcast, and we're doing it next week.
Bullshit.
So,
thank you.
Once we're done recording, I need to. This is not the first time you foreshadowed this, and I need to ask you what it is once we're off recording.
Yes. To be fair, to be clear, I am probably going to think that it is great.
Yes, I will probably
really
also
bullshit,
think it's great.
or you really like bullshit.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So super stoked on that one. But
I just want some fucking vindication finally.
Yes, we have done so good at earning our 23,000 lifetime downloads that we are not going to get a single one more after this next series. We're like, well, never mind. We can't trust these guys anymore.
We'll get way more because suddenly we've become like the angry video game nerd of podcasts, and people love that shit.
But yeah, for this episode of RPG Book Club, I have been Sam Allman.
I might be Sailor Eli.
I'm Maddy Grace Webben.
And I'm pretty sure at this point I am Nega Sam. So
Toodaloo!
Toodaloo, folks. Decided to, for some damn reason, write a novel. Why would I do this to myself?
You utter fool. You moron. You dumbass.
Me too, though, so, you know.
Yeah.
Who among us isn't a dumbass, really?
Well, I'm a dumbass, but not for that reason.
So far, my novel...
not to be, but, you know...
I'm a dumbass, but at least I'm not a dumbass writing a novel.
Yeah. So my novel so far is really bad, and I don't want anyone to read it. But I told myself that my goal this time was not even to make 50,000 words. It was just to write stupid bullshit every day to make sure that I wrote stupid bullshit, because I haven't like written anything creatively since college.
No, that's good.
So this is just
tip from when I did nano in literally high school. Maybe you already know this one, but turn off your monitor
and just type.
That way you can't see what you're writing, and you can't see if it sucks. And if you make a typo, you just fucking keep going because you can't go back and fix it. You literally just turn off your monitor and you just fucking vibe.
That's cool.
It's fun like that in concept, but I also know if I were to do that, I would end up like at some point getting my just fingers one off on the keyboard or something, and then I'd look back at it later and I was like, "What the fuck did I write?"
I would bump the mouse and it would click out, and I would just be wasting keystrokes.
Oh no!
I would just type 50,000 keywords and then not
accidentally like post your entire like writing that day to Facebook or something instead.
Well, when I did it, it was very helpful.
Yeah, I in the mornings listen to Mario Kart music because it's amazing for ADHD.
That makes sense.
To the other two of the three of us that normally host this podcast that have ADHD, you should listen to Mario Kart music when you need to focus. It's like
that makes sense.
For what it's worth, I do also. So
ADHD is the fucking worst.
How has this podcast made an episode every week for so long when all of us have ADHD and we can't remember if we've opened our drink yet or not?